Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for joining this live webinar about Turkish brands hosted by the global franchise market. It's an interesting webinar today, and please welcome with me Mr. Mehmet Ali, who will be doing a presentation now on Semi-Sarai. I would like to invite Mr. Mehmet Ali Erjan, board member, who is our chief guest today, to do his presentation. Let me introduce myself quickly to you. First, my name is Shadi Dawi. I am franchise consultant, Frank Gulf, Middle East. I have more than 23 years of experience in HoReCa hospitality catering, hotels, catering, and restaurants, as well as FMCG, and I'm moderating sessions since 2 years. Mr. Mehmet Ali, good afternoon to you. How are you today?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for joining this webinar. The floor is yours. You would like to proceed, I guess, first with the presentation.
Yeah.
So please
thank
go
you.
ahead.
Thank you to GFM and Franchise Talks to host us today. And I hope a great day and businesses and health and prosperous to all audiences. I'm sure most of audience are familiar with the Semi-Sarai brand, but still I would like to give some insight about Semi-Sarai and our franchisee system here, right? There. All right.
Yes, yes.
So I think everyone has seen that brand, that logo in airports or all over the globe. And we are serving more than 1 million people every day in our stores. The thing is, Simit itself was served in Ottoman palaces for 100 years. And Saray means palace in Turkish. So Simit Saray brand comes from like a food coming from the Ottoman palace. But of course, we have started with Simit, but now we have more than 270 items in our product range in our stores. And this is our timeline. We are a 20 years old brand. And in 2005, we have established our own factory to produce our bakery items. And from New York to London, all over the globe, all products have been sold in Semi-Saray stores are shipped from our factory in Istanbul. Especially nowadays, we are establishing a second factory due to the capacity reasons. We are growing exponentially, and we needed a second factory, and we are building next to the existing one. We have stores in Netherlands, in Germany, in Kuwait, in Qatar, like more than 20 countries we exist and provide our services. And yeah, we have an SAP system, all from accounting to marketing, everything is being monitored from the headquarters. And we do the production here in Istanbul, and the shipment is taking place by our contracted freighters, and storage we have here. But of course, we expect our franchisees to have their own storage as well, because we ship them frozen and they need to keep it frozen. And then there's a baking in the store. This is our factory, as I mentioned, and you don't see the land behind it, but we are establishing the second factory next to that one. I hope and I think most of our audiences already tried and tasted our products, and some of them you might see behind the screen. And yeah, here are some of the products, from pizza to börek, from ciabatta to coffee. Anyone who comes to Semi-Saray store, be assured they'll get the most delicious items and get fooled in any time of the day. So franchising system, Semi-Saray has its own stores, but abroad, out of Turkey, we have stores as well, but we prefer to grow with our master franchise and our partners. And in some of the countries, we empathize that model. And in Azerbaijan, in Netherlands, in UK, we have our franchise and master franchisees. The thing is, bakery, what Simit Sarai created is the interior design give the best atmosphere to spend some time. So when you get into a Simit Sarai store, you will love the furnishings within the taste and the smell of the store. Just because we are not shipping our bakery items baked and frozen like many others did, what we do is we freeze them raw in our factory and we ship them raw frozen. So each Simit Sarai store, they bake themselves. When we do that, we achieve the best crunchiness, freshness, taste, and the smell in the location for a higher, longer time period. And we have 3 different type of stores. Modern bakery cafes are a bit bigger ones with a kitchen inside, and we provide a la carte food service as well. Bakery shops, they don't have a kitchen. It's mostly ovens and displays and mostly only bakery. And kiosks are small places, mostly supported by another store. Especially we use this in airports and in the malls. This is like an example for a modern bakery cafe for the big ones. And we prefer terrace and patios or yards just because people love to enjoy outside, especially smokers. And this is from the inside. As you see, most of our stores are like that, crowded. They like to spend time there. That's why we would like to have more seating places. And these are bakery shop examples. These are mostly in malls. Again, high-end, luxurious interior and furnishings all came from Turkey. So you got Turkish quality manufactured, not only ovens and equipments, but also the furnishings come from Turkey. They're all turnkey stores. So one franchisee would like to have a store or a master franchisee from A to Z, location selection to opening and training. We provide a whole bunch of services. And this is an example for a kiosk. Again, in a mall, supported by another shop, another store, or in a mall. Again, these are examples of kiosks. So how we proceed, once we had an agreement with a master franchisee or a franchisee, we start selecting locations. The suggestions come from the franchisee or master franchisee, but we consent or not, because our experts know how much revenue could be derived from such location and what should be the minimum, depending on the location, size of the store, etc. If we give the consent, then we move on, then we move on drawing, because every architectural drawings are taken place by Simit Sarai itself, is our own architects, and they're all included in the agreement. So they are not charged another fee, but another fee, but another fee. So they're not surprised with Simit Sarai. And then we prepare a BOQ, like bill of quantity. Then for each store, each specific store, each franchisee knows how much construction or equipment cost they're gonna bear. And then we start the equipment production, because they're all like hot code. For each store, you need specific displays, specific furnishings, and fit out. Everything is being produced in Turkey, and then we ship them. And the construction, you may have a construction team on site, a hired one, contracted one for the fit out, but we came for installation. So our team comes and they install every equipment or item have been produced in Turkey. When they ship, they follow and they do the installation. So everything is like an unique and identical Simit Sarai store. And then there's opening, and we will be there before the opening and after the opening for training until the new team of the store get used to operations. We stay there for baking, for counter, for cleaning. We give the whole support for the master franchisees or the franchisees. So again, it's a turnkey store. So from location selection to opening, it is at most 60 days. It could be lesser, but not higher. So these are the trainings that we provide. It's a product preparation, the presentation, drinking station, the cash desk, and the store management. These are the training that we provide with our team, which we have a specific division in the company for the training. So this is what I would like to say briefly about Simit Sarai. I prefer to answer your, Mr. Shadi, or audience's questions if there are any.
Mr. Mehmet, honestly speaking, a great, short, and brief presentation, yet informative. Thank you very much. And you stimulated our appetite, to be honest. So we must try your product.
Because of my speech?
Because of both. I think also, can we just stop sharing the, you're done with the screen?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I have also impressive reaction from the audience, and I can receive many questions. Okay, until now I received 3 questions, and so we will proceed for audience Q&A first. Mr. Mehmet, one of the audience members who is watching is asking, what are the new expansion plans in GCC and Middle East, focusing on this region?
Yeah, actually, I think most of the countries we have our master franchisees, except Emirates. So other countries like Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, we might accept franchisees. We're gonna work with our master franchisees, of course. But for Emirates, we don't have a master franchise, so we will accept applications from Emirates to be a master franchisee. For such other countries, we accept candidates for being a franchisee. We're going to work with our master franchisees.
Okay, wonderful. Another person is asking the quality of the product, since you operate in Europe and also you operate in Middle East. Are you, for example, for GCC, did you make any adjustments to the Oriental flavor, or you promoted or you introduced the new products, or?
Of course, especially stores that we call modern bakery cafes, that we provide a la carte dishes. Of course, we provide food that will gonna match the taste of Middle East. If you have any visit to our Bahrain stores or Qatar or Kuwait stores, we're gonna see that. But in the bakery shops that there is no a la carte food, the bakery mostly is international thing. However, we always get input from our franchisees and from our clients, and we adjust, let's say, the size of the teacup, you know, they're all being adjusted, depend. But however, of course, we have a corporate line that we try to follow.
Excellent. Last question I will take, and then we will go back to Q&A, because I have also many questions for Mr. Mehmet. One person is asking, what about the potato? It's very popular in Turkey. Are you thinking, do you have such item, the baked potato? You're planning to introduce it?
Of course. When we call it like bakery and baking potato, it's called kumpir in Turkey.
Okay.
And it is a totally different business. First of all, freezing potato isn't a good idea. Because everything in Simit Sarai, again, is a 20 years of a company, 20 years. So we have tried everything to be perfect. So not only potato and kumpir, like baked potato, we have tried different items as well. But what we consider is the sustainability of the return of our franchisees. So we do not want any item to go waste. So that's why we have items that are going to have at least 1 year shelf life.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Mehmet, back to the webinar questions. Tell me, what is the approximate investment cost of an average store, please?
Yeah. As I said, we have 3 different size of stores. You know, modern bakery cafe, bakery shop, and kiosks. if we think from a perspective of master franchisee, we can call it like 200,000 euros per store in average. Of course, when it comes to a kiosk, it's very less. When it comes to a modern bakery, depending on the size of the store, might be higher, but on average, it's like about 200,000 euros, including construction, fit out, furbishing, equipment, and everything.
For the kiosk?
No, for average.
So
kiosk
on
is
average.
like what, 100, or if it's a modern bakery cafe, it's going to be maybe 250, but average you can consider about 200,000.
Can we list in one, like in 1, 2, 3, so to make it clear to the audience, the standards of franchising stores, or stores, let me say, like big store this amount, medium store this amount, express store this amount.
Yeah, let's say I'm not gonna mention the construction, because construction depends on the situation of the store, how much fit out should be done in the store. But it's a modern bakery cafe. It's like 120,000 euros.
Up and running.
Up and running. Like it's equipment, like oven, display, chairs, tables, whole furnishing.
From A to Z.
A to Z. Okay. You should add up some construction on top of that, like mechanics, electricity, etc. That makes it might be 200,000. Okay.
Like MEP and fit out, let's say.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. The thing is, we will decide that, as I said, we're going to say a bill of quantity.
Yes.
If it's like a mall store in a mall, the construction will be less. If it's a street, an old building that you need to renew it a bit, it could be a bit higher. Because in Europe, we see that.
Yes, Mr. Mehmet, so we are saying a cafe where people can sit, how many square meters? 50?
If it's a modern bakery cafe, it's like 150.
150 square meter.
Square meter, yeah.
Perfect. So we are saying, let me rephrase, 150 square meter cafe and bakery and all the products that you have that will cost, with even everything, furniture from A to Z, 120,000 euros. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Plus MEP. And civil or fit out, let me say 20, right? 25,000. So we are talking maximum 150,000 euro. You have a cafe up and running. Correct me.
Correct. Again, each store has its specific conditions. So if it's like in Netherlands, mostly buildings are old and you need to make more cost for the construction, getting it ready. If it's a mall, it's easier. You don't have much cost for that. So construction is a bit unknown, but it cannot be higher than, let's say, 40, 50,000 euros. So equipment, furnishing, and everything is about 120,000 euros. If it is a bakery shop, smaller one, like about 100 square meters, it's gonna be like 90,000 euros.
Okay, we are talking on average 1,000 euro per square meter.
Yeah, pretty much.
To be honest, this is a good cost, especially if you're planning to expand in U.A.E. I think
Mr. Shadi, these were not like that less before. I think all audiences observed the devaluation in Turkish lira. We rely on Turkish manufactured items in furniture and the mechanics like oven and every displays, which are high quality. And thanks to the currency devaluation in Turkish liras, which is not good for Turkish economy maybe, but the costs in the euros are get lesser. So 1,000 euro per square meter is, you can say that.
It's a very, very good cost. Anyway, I mean, a lot of things to talk about this, but I have to move to the second question because it is important. Tell us more about the royalty fees and advertising costs, or if you list down the fees, all of them, royalty, initial fees, and so on, please.
Yeah, we have one-off payment to get the agreement of Simit Sarai brand is like 50,000 euros per store. If once you open the store, you pay only 3% royalty fee and 2% advertisement fee on your revenues.
Okay.
Which again, I think audiences, they know such other F&B brands as well, the figures are higher in our international competitors.
Okay. What about the cost of goods sold? Now, probably an operator might ask. They are usually operators. They are very much concerned about the cost of goods sold, the cost ratio over monthly sales, and let's say OPEX, and give us an idea on average.
I'll give you the statistics that we derive from hundreds of stores out of Turkey, not in Turkey, okay? Because Turkish figures might be misleading, but stores in UK, in Germany, in Netherlands, in Azerbaijan, in Kuwait and Qatar, the average cost of goods sold is in a range between 6% to 20%. That difference comes from the freight and the custom duties, depending on the country. In GCC, there's not much custom duty and the freight is not much higher. So in, let's say, in Qatar and Kuwait, we achieve 6 to 8% cost of goods sold. And these are all, again, Turkish manufactured, high quality, tasty, but again, Turkish lira cost occurred items. That's why we achieve that. And say in UK, there's a bit higher costs for the freight and custom duties. So they may reach up to 20%. But we haven't seen any cost of goods sold ratio higher than 20% all over the world.
Well, this is remarkably good cost.
Let me add you something. That achievement comes with the system that we ship everything 100% raw frozen, the shelf time, so there is no waste in the products. Everything is being defrozen in the store and baked depending on the daily consumption. That's why it's not like meat, fish, or chicken that is a bit higher cost. It's bakery, but again, comes with the semi-storage system, raw frozen bakery baked in the store.
Excellent. Okay, my last question before we proceed. We have a lot of questions coming in, which is good. We have more than 6 questions already from the audience. Let me conclude my questions, and then I will move quickly to the audience. A question: what is the ROI and net margin ratio, please?
Yeah, the margin, the gross or net margins, that depends on the rate of the rent. So we never suggest our franchisees to rent a store which gonna exceed 15% of revenue. Okay. So if your store will gonna, by the way, we suggest them first to lease a property on revenue share. If you can achieve to have a revenue share model for your lease terms, then get it for 8 to 12% that we do in Turkey, in some cases in Netherlands as well. So revenue share model is the best model. If you do not get a deal with revenue share, we make a calculation for each location. If it's an airport, let's say, you can reach a $1 million revenue per month that we achieve in some airports in Qatar, in Sabiha, in Istanbul airports. $1 million revenue is not achievable thing. But usually, what we expect is about $300,000 or euros, depending on the country, of a revenue from a store. And we expect more than 20% net margin. It should be between 20 and 35, again, depending on your rent and your employee costs. But if it's less than 20%, then we suggest to relocate the store.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mehmet, I will move to audience questions. I have a question from Raymond Healy. He or she is asking, what is the expected number of units for a franchise term?
Units? For a master franchisee, I think.
Yes. What is the expected number of units?
Okay.
For a master franchisee, yes, that's what she means, but probably she
for each country, we have a determined number of stores to get a master franchisee. Let's say for Azerbaijan, it was 32, and our master franchisee has signed a master franchisee agreement for 32. For Romania, it was 25, and he signed for 25. So for each country, if someone gets a master franchisee, he is undertaking to open stores depending on how many stores that we determined. Of course, that changes depending on the purchasing power of that country, the population of that country, the destination of the cities. So from location to location, from city to city, because in Germany, let's say, we are not giving master franchisee for whole Germany. We give it by like Frankfurt, Berlin master franchisees, Köln, and this sort of master franchisees, because in Germany, the geography is a bit distributed, spread around. So if for a certain country, we have already determined number of stores, they don't have to open them in the same year. We give them a timeline. So let's say this for Azerbaijan, let's say it's 32, they open 8 stores this year, and then 8 stores next year, then 8 stores next year. So in 4 years, they complete 32 stores.
Okay, I mean, pretty much clear. The bigger the geographical
and population and purchasing power.
Yes, the bigger the geography, the population, and purchase power, you will have more and more like multi-master franchise in each country. Okay, I move to Amrak. Amrak is asking, are you looking for master franchise in the U.A.E. and what are the requirements?
Yeah, we are looking for a master franchisee in Emirates, in U.A.E. And we are looking same criteria from each master franchisee, being experienced in this field, preferably having already some other master franchisees for some other brands, like a coffee shop and other mostly preferably FMB. So we want those candidates to be experienced and already in this business. We are not a newborn brand, we are a 20 years old brand, and the master franchisee is someone that we rely our brand to the master franchisee's hands. So we want them to be experienced in marketing and procurement and human resources and operation and leasing and everything. So if they already have a team for such operations, so they can easily undertake Simit master franchise in Emirates. And for Emirates, we expect to have at least 25 stores in 3 years. By the way, master franchisees do not have to open all those 25 stores. They may open some of them, but they can franchisee for some.
Yes, obviously, that's clear, and a lot of information on this. Let me move on with Mohammed Jagoub. Mohammed Jagoub. He's asking, there is or used to be a Simit Sarai in Dubai? Was there a Simit Sarai before in Dubai?
Yeah, there used to be. There used to be. It was our own store in Jumeirah, and a few some others like in like a city walk. And just because of our strategy change to give master franchisees, we closed them. And now for Emirates, we would like to have a master franchisee and would like to move with them.
Okay, all right. Repositioning.
Yeah, repositioning.
Okay.
No, in local markets, you need to act with locals.
Yes. Okay. Raymond Healy, he's asking, Raymond Healy is very active. He's asking again, what about Africa and can you support in Africa?
Yeah, our logistics system is prepared to ship even to Indonesia, and especially North Africa is not far from us. We have a massive franchise in Algeria, but except that for Morocco, for Libya, for Egypt, especially Egypt, we prefer to have master franchisee candidates from there too.
Okay, excellent. More and more questions flowing in. I am happy and impressed as well. How do we get Raymond Healy? How do we get a copy of the presentation? We will check with Mr. Mehmet and send your number. We can, if it's okay, we will send it to you.
Mr. Shadi, I'll prefer to redirect any request for such to Ms. Sevjan. You have her number and her email. Yes. Because she's our head of master franchises for markets. So she can be handling all those operations and presentation sharing and everything.
No problem. Definitely, we will talk, me and you. We will communicate even after the webinar, and we will be definitely sharing all the inquiries that comes on. Another question. This is we answered. What is the expected number of units for a franchise term? It was asked again. This also we answered. I have another question about advertising. Now, you collect a fees of advertising, but apart from the fees, what is the advertising strategy? Knowing that today, Mr. Mehmet, we are in the digital world and the world of social media. The average spend per person in U.A.E, since it's also your target area, is 4 hours per day only on social media, 8 hours to 9 hours on the internet, and in general. So back to the question origin. Do you have a strategy for advertisement, and what is it?
What we do is we let our master franchisees to open a social media account in any area like Instagram, Facebook, wherever, like Simit Sarai Emirates, Simit Sarai Dubai, Simit Sarai Qatar, or Kuwait, or Bahrain. So if you go to Instagram, you can see our master franchise accounts. So they have liberty to use Simit Sarai brand with their location and open such accounts. And we provide all the visuals, photos, videos, and everything for their use. At the same time, those 2% advertisement fee is not revenue of Simit Sarai. So we spend that revenue, that income, on local markets. So actually, the German Frankfurt master franchisee is not paying for Dubai or Emirates advertisement. Each market, they drive 2%, and then we spend it locally.
How do you spend it?
Depends. We collaborate with our master franchisees. It depends. If they comes with an idea, hey, we want to give an advertisement to that magazine, or there's a billboard in front of my street, I would like to have a billboard. So we negotiate with them. If that 2% is not sufficient, we may contribute, or they contribute. So we go align with our master franchisees because they're in the local market. They know better the local market. So they come with suggestions, and we get into dialogue with them.
Perfect. From your experience, who benefits more? Let's say we did an outdoor advertisement for Simit Sarai in Dubai. The brand benefits more, or the franchisee?
It is a mutual relationship. I'll tell you what. You know, the best advertisement is the store itself. So when a consumer enjoy the moment in your store, have taste nice food, nice bakery, and a Turkish coffee or Turkish tea there, and then being serviced well, treated well, the word of mouth is the best advertisement. However, to announce that you exist in the market, of course, we need to use channels, and we may use conventional media or digital media. However, our master franchisees, they benefit the whole brand image, because if you go to London, go to Kingston Street or in London Eye, they see Simit Sarai. So anyone who experienced Simit Sarai in London Eye or King Street, or in Dom Square in Amsterdam, so when they come to Dubai store or Kuwait store, they have feeling that recognition of brand and the trust and the reliance. So we expect from our franchisees to provide the same service, same quality in each store. So they shouldn't say, hey, this is not the same Simit Sarai. The London was better, or Amsterdam was better, or Istanbul was better. Meanwhile, there's a fact that Istanbul airport is the largest airport in the region now, including Europe. Even Heathrow is not having passengers like Istanbul airport now. So we have 11 stores in Istanbul airport. We have 9 stores in Sabiha Gökçen. So people, even though they're not coming to Turkey or Istanbul, even though they are flying to India, they are transpassing through Istanbul or Sabiha airport. So millions of people, that's why our revenues are crazy in airports. They are exposed to brand, and they are enjoying our items in the airports. So that is the biggest advertisement. People, when they travel, they can take away the bakery, and they enjoy their time in the airport. It's not only one store, again, 11 stores in Istanbul airport. 9 stores in Sabiha, 1 store in Qatar Hamad Airport. So we allow to be in airports, and we suggest all our master franchisees to have a store in airport, at least one, but possibly, if possibly more.
Okay, excellent. I have another question from Mr. Ahmad from U.A.E, and he's asking about the recruitment. The recruitment process usually is one of the challenges in the franchise, especially key positions. Mm-hmm. So do you refer CVs? Do you assist the franchisee? And to which extent do you interfere in recruitment?
First of all, training is the key thing. So all stores all over the globe, staff there are being educated, trained by our own education training team. However, why we ask master franchisee to have experience in this field? Because we expect them to be able to reach some such human resources in the local market. Of course, we do not expect them to be get used to Simit Sarai system, from cash desk, accounting to baking. So we educate them as a Simit Sarai staff, even as a store manager or as a counter guy or as a baker.
Okay. All right, that's obviously, I mean, the franchisee should have, or the master franchisee should have F&B knowledge and experience, and I respect this. What you said is correct. One more question from Rafiq, and he's asking, you do kunafa. I'm sure you have kunafa in your, Turkish kunafa is very popular, obviously. And he's also asking, what is the flagship product or products in your brand?
Just because the brand name has Simit, people think that Simit is the flagship item. However, that changes from market to market. Say in London, hot dog Simit, the sandwich hot dog, is the most popular item.
Hot
dog.
You
go to hot dog with the sausage inside.
Okay.
In London, it is the best item.
Okay.
If you go to London, you may see that, but burek, cheese burek and spinach burek, the rolls, they are the favorites.
Okay.
Let's say if you go to Qatar, people love pizza over there, because the pizza with the sesame, etc. And in the modern bakery cafes, there are different breakfast items that with the eggs and cheeses, etc. So again, from market to market, it differs. That's why we have more than 200 items. Actually, it's now 270 different items. So what we do is, let's say we have cookies, right? Cookies with the fill.
Yes.
So in some geography, they like it with the chocolate. In some geographies, they like it with the fruit. So master franchise or franchise, they lead us, hey, guys like that, chocolate here or fruit there. So depending on the requirement, we amend the products and we like them to change the display frequently. Not every day, but season by season, for winter, for spring, for summer, the display changes. So when a client comes again, they see new products over there, even though they're in our portfolio all the time. But our franchisees, they when they order different items, because there are a bunch of selections, so they change the items so clients or consumers do not bore with the same stuff eating for years over the years.
Okay. Great, excellent. Another person is asking, I think maybe you want to answer him again. He's asking how much is the royalty fees for each franchise to the master franchise. Probably he posed the question in another way. Yeah. So I think he's asking if there's a master franchise, how much he charges the sub-franchise. So
yeah, he charges 6, pays 3 to Simit Sarai itself, and he got 3. So if you are a master franchisee, you are paying Simit Sarai 3, but you are charging your franchisees for 6.
Okay, so almost the double.
If you say that way, it might sound a bit higher, but actually it's 6% the double.
Okay. I think also one more question is about the product you supply. Samir is asking, what about the product and supply? Is it consistent? Is it seasonal? Do you face any challenges, especially like bakery items and frozen items? Some items are related to season, cheese, dairy items, and so on.
No.
Maybe also you give us a parallel to his question. Let me rephrase his question. Tell us more, Mr. Mehmet, which is very important, obviously, about the quality of the products. We know that Turkey has quality products, but probably some people and audience would like to know what makes you different.
In Turkey, people keep saying, I never sell anything that I don't make my children eat. It's just a saying. Mostly people say that if you're in F&B business, they say, I'm not gonna sell anything that I don't let my children to eat. Once a day, I was walking through the factory and I saw Namet there. Namet is the highest quality, most expensive meat items, you know, the hot dogs and the sausage and everything. I said to Abdullah Bey, the founder of Simit Saray, he was next to me. He said, Abdullah Bey, you know, we say Abi to each other, you know. Are you crazy? This is so expensive. How are you going to manage your costs with Namet? Okay. He said, I never sell anything that I don't. And I said, no, this is saying. People not do it that way. It's just saying. People don't have to put Namet. Or there's Sütaş and then another high-end, most expensive dairy, okay? That, hey, Namet and Sütaş, how you manage it? It says the success is achieving lesser cost with the higher quality. It is easy to cut the quality and reach cheap prices. The scale gives you that advantage. So if anyone goes to Namet and try to buy some to Sütaş, they get different price. But thanks to hundreds of stores and the scale that we achieved already, our prices are lesser compared to any other company in Turkey. Again, thanks to the brand image and to the scale, because they are proud to be providing items to Simit Saray, the raw material. And about the quality, there's another saying in Turkish: you don't have to listen to anyone, you have to look at his work. So I invite anyone, firstly you and anyone in this webinar, to visit our store. If in Istanbul they're my guests, I would like them to try and taste our items. Any word is just nothing. They need to try the quality in the stores.
And it is the same quality if we go and try in your store that people will try in any place in the world.
Doesn't matter. They pick this store in Istanbul, I'll be there.
Okay.
In airport, any other store, doesn't matter. The key thing is, we are in food and beverage business, right?
Yes.
We are providing people to eat. They consume into their body. It's like a shirt, it's like a pencil. We are providing people food so they can survive. So they embrace it into their body, really. So it should be tasty, but at the same time, it should be healthy. More than 1 million people every day visiting our stores and filling themselves. This is a high responsibility. So we expect our franchisees to keep tight on the process of baking. So they need to defreeze the items, they need to bake them in the oven, and they need to track the sequence of the consumption, and it shouldn't be waited too long. If so, they have to get rid of it. Once they do that, they reach the best quality and the service. And we expect any franchise to do that, and we are auditing that pretty strictly. That's why we are so confident that any store you visit, you'll have the same quality and same taste.
Okay, another question. What matters most? Is it the quality of the product or the skills and training of the chef or of the production team?
I cannot say one is more important than the other. We guarantee that we provide the best quality to most affordable price to reach a nice cost of goods sold, which is less than 20%. We need to make that assured, right? But
Okay.
when we ship that, we need them to be kept in the cold storage rooms, defreezed only before baking, and we make sure that that stuff is get trained. By the way, it's not a rocket science. It is just defreezing, baked the frozen item and bake it. It's not a rocket science, but there are some times and procedures they need to follow. As long as they follow, they cannot make any mistake. But of course, we need human power, someone there to bake, and the display management. If you keep your display full and how you show your items, they all adds on the revenue. By the way, we are exhibiting at TGFM, and we will have our a store in the exhibition. They can taste our items in the exhibition, and they can see the procedure, defreezing and baking procedure during the exhibition.
Okay. So you will be demonstrating your food in the exhibition.
Yeah, for free.
For free. Okay. What is Mr. Mehmet, the strategy for the next 3 years for the brand in general? If you can tell us.
The thing is, expanding in Turkey is such easy. For the global markets, we would like to have our master franchisees for each country. We don't want to miss any other country. And in 5 years, maybe not, if not in 3, in 5 years, Simit Saraye will be listed on London Stock Exchange market. So the company is a private company now, and the company will be listed, go to Stock Exchange in London in 5 years.
Wow.
We are big in Europe, in Amsterdam, the whole Netherlands, in Germany, in UK, in Slovenia, even small countries, we have stores and franchisees. There are a few missing countries that we don't have master franchisees yet. In GCC, we only have Emirates yet, only don't have master franchisee. And all our master franchisees are on track to open their stores. And anyone who look at the CAPEX and the OPEX of Simit Saraye, it is highly affordable compared to any other F&B business. Even for a coffee shop, if you go to get a master franchise from a coffee shop, it is higher than Simit Saraye, I assure you. And someone asked about North Africa. We love to be in North Africa. Algeria is taken, but starting from Egypt, whole North Africa is open.
What are the countries still open in Africa? All Africa?
Except Algeria, whole Africa is open actually.
Wow. Except Algeria.
Except Algeria, yeah. And I think the most promising market might be Egypt due to the population. Morocco and North Africa is the best country, the best region. But if someone interested for Ghana or Ivory Coast, why not?
Okay. In Middle East and GCC, only U.A.E is left, right?
As master franchisee, yes, only U.A.E is available. For franchisees, they can apply to us or our master franchisees in their specific country.
Okay. All right. I think we came to a conclusion. Really, I think an interview, a webinar full of information and very rich, let me say in another way. And Mr. Mehmet, thank you. Really, it's a very informational webinar, and I am personally glad to know about this amazing brand. And thank you for the presentation and answering the Q&A. And I would like to thank Mr. Mehmet Ali Erjan, board member for Simit Saraye, for joining this webinar on Turkish brands hosted by the Global Franchise Market. I want to also thank Index Holding as well. And Mr. Mehmet, it will not be the last time. We will, inshallah, meet again.
Inshallah.
I wish you all the best, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shadi. Thank you for the time. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you, Franchise Talk and TGFM, for hosting Simi Sarai and myself in this webinar. And I thank all our audiences. Anyone who would like to reach me, they can reach me through LinkedIn or from my email. If there's a specific requirement for being franchised or master franchisee, they can reach me or Mr. Sevjan. But for any invitation for shisha, dinner, or coffee, they can reach me directly. No, shisha is not allowed in Turkey now. So in Dubai, I see some open for shisha, and I love that.
Yes, definitely. And we will see you soon in Dubai. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. And I wish you a pleasant day. Thank you very much. This is Shadi Dawi, and I wish you all the best. Take care.